Welcome. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Michael Fletcher, and welcome to a very special video. This is the recap of RWA Legacy 7 as as the show went down live from the East Providence Recreational Center in East Providence, Rhode Island on Saturday night. And ladies and gentlemen, it was a sellout. RWA was looking for it. They got it. A capacity crowd in the rec center. 162 people showed up for the event, selling out the rec center for the first time ever. Congratulations to the RWA. Major props for what was undoubtedly one of the very good events that I've witnessed in recent memory. And I'll say this, for the RWA fans out there, you should be very proud of yourselves for the roster, for all the superstars, the guys in the back, and everybody who put the show on. It was an honor and a privilege to witness this event. And with that said, let's just hop right into the action. And boys, did we start it off with a bang. The first fight of the night was this match right here. This was the match. It was for the RWA Hype Championship, as this was, for the first time ever, a ladder match. And this was huge for us in East Providence, as it was Mike Santana, Tommy Trainwreck, Ricky Medeiros, Jack Connor, Devin Blaze, and the RWA Hype Champion, the Ace, Mike Montero, and they kicked off the show, and boy, did they start it in grand style. I mean, this fight here was absolutely phenomenal. What a way to start the event. And I'll tell you, some of the videos have been leaked out already on Facebook from a lot of the fans who were there last night. Let me tell you, the match itself is a 5-star classic. That's how great this fight was. I mean, the bumps that these guys took, I cringed because of the fact that they left their bodies on the line. A ladder broke during the match. One of the ladders actually got bent in half. It was so horrific. But the way that this fight went out, the way that all six men left it in the ring, it was absolutely phenomenal. An amazing performance by everybody involved. And yes, when it was all said and done, the Ace, Mike Montero, grabs the belt. He successfully defends his RWA Hype title. He's 15-0, folks. Since winning that belt, he remains undefeated. He is the longest running RWA Hype Champion in the history of the RWA. Now the question is, what's next for him? Well, we found out, or we're gonna find out, because he actually made a surprise appearance later on in the night, which actually even had me, super fan, super fan of the wrestling form, Megan Silva, and our good friend Kenny Feldman, who actually is a member of the um, East Providence Recreational Center, and it got all three of us considering, thinking in our minds what could be down the line for the Ace. I'll tell you one thing: if this is who he's going after next, good luck is what I say to the champion himself. Alright guys, so let's switch gears now as we go right into the next fight of the night, which was a match which was the mass hold. Mike McCarthy, he makes his debut as he went one-on-one with as he went one-on-one with, of course, oh, hang on a second, as he went one-on-one and he took on Frank the Crank in this match. Now, I will tell you this. After the fact of how great the first fight was and how exciting this match truly turned out to be, at least for a lot of the fans, including myself, we all were kind of wondering how they were gonna transition into the next fight. I hate to say it, guys. It was okay for the most part. The masshole Mike McCarthy did get the victory, even though it was a shaky victory. I will say this: it was kind of a screw job victory. A schoolboy holding the tights. Referee does not see it. Counts the 1, 2, 3, and McCarthy walks out of there with the victory. He gets to go to back in Beantown, back in Massachusetts, and celebrate the fact that he takes down Frank the Crank. And I'll tell you what, Frank the Crank is definitely he's worthy of being the rookie of the year. But there was a noticeable mistake that he made, a rookie mistake. He's gonna learn from that. We're gonna, things will happen, down the line. That's gonna be better for him, and he's gonna be fine. I mean, I thought it could have been a little better. I thought it was good, but not great. I gave it about maybe 1.5 to 2 stars. I know I might get a little flack for that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna keep it as real as I can about the card itself. And I really think that, it was a good match, but I really felt like this was more of a cool down fight. Let the people get their breath back underneath them, because after a 5-star classic that ladder match was, I think the fans were just like, oh my god, what a way to start it. How are they gonna top it? They kind of brought it down back to a level where a lot of people were like, okay, this was just a cool down fight, and I even mentioned it uh, to Kenny, and we both agreed. We're like, this is a cool down fight. This is traditional what they do in any type of wrestling organization when you have a big lift off, and you just you kind of hit that peak right at the beginning. It's gonna have to come down some point, but this is what I felt like. It probably just came down to a point where the fans just wanted to get their legs underneath them and get what they could get. And I thought it was solid. I thought it was a good match, to say the very least. And I just hope that whatever the case may be in the very near future, we'll get something better out of it. I enjoyed it for the most part. I just thought it could have been a little better. All right. So the next match that was on the card, this was, at least to me, a huge fight, career threatening match, as this was just Alex. He went one on one with Hansen, and this was, to me, one of those marquee fights that even I even admitted that I was excited about, because of the fact that this was a mega match for me, because history was going to be made. Somebody's career was going to come to an end here in East Providence, Rhode Island. And when this was all said and done, folks, it was PJ Hansen's career came to an end. Just Alex wins the match, and he ends the career. And let me tell you, folks, this was a thrilling match. I was really shocked at how good this match actually turned out to be, because I did not believe, and I'll even be very honest with you, I did not believe that was not going to be the way that this was going to turn out, but it did. It turned out to be even better than even I believed, and it was just one of those fights that, you know, Hansen is well loved, well respected in the RWA community, and not only that, in professional wrestling, especially in the Rhode Island and New England area. So for us, this was actually kind of an end of an era for him. And I'll say this: there was a lot more Hansen fans than just Alex fans, which actually floored me, because of the fact that leading into the fight, you know, Hansen did beat up Just Alex, left him in a beatdown at the RWA hype show at the Chop Shop a few weeks before this fight went down, and what happened next was actually the most shocking thing. But just Alex put it out on the table. You fight me, career versus career, and it happened, and this was the outcome. So definitely a good match, no doubt about it. Definitely one of my favorite fights of the night, and I gave it about 2 to 2.25 stars for the effort, and they left nothing to chance, to say the very least. Congratulations to just Alex for keeping his career alive, and for Hanson, thank you for everything that you have done, and I really loved the speech that you gave um, before you ended your career. When your career, you put it in real context. You were one of the reasons why RWA is where it is today. You were one of the pioneers with Big T Phoenix, and you mentioned that, and because of that, I salute you. I say thank you, and I wish you nothing but the best. Good luck, my friend. You're gonna be missed. Alright, so now we go on to the next fight that I will recap, and that match is the Ambruzis as they went up against the Movement. This was one of those fights that was pretty much, it was one of those matches that was, it was an okay fight, no doubt about it. The Abruzzi family does win the match, and well, there's really nothing else to say about this fight. It was, like I said, another a good match, a filler match that was pretty much more for the fans, to cater to them, you know. And it was as good as we could have thought it could have gotten. But at the end of the day, the Abruzis does get the win, and they do get a big victory, to say the very least. And well, that sets up for us. Basically, for the Abruzis, they had bigger, well, yeah, bigger fish to fry, as we would say, as they would face on a little bit later on in the evening, because they would be a part of the tag team title fight, where we will get to that in a little bit. The next fight of the night, this was the one that I told the fans that if you just had to be there to witness this, because if you didn't have the fate of heart, this was gonna be the one that was gonna mess people up. If I'm going out of order, I apologize. I'm just giving you my thoughts and what I felt about each fight going along, and it was, the unstable Messiah, Christopher Dozier versus Jason Devine. And well, let's just say this. If you remember my preview video, I said that Jason Devine, that I did not like his chances in this fight. I will say this. He surprised me. He definitely had more than a fighting chance, and he almost won the match at one point. And if it wasn't for Christopher Dozier's manager, uh, where he stuck his nose where it didn't belong. I mean, Dozier did not look, at the early setting of this fight, Dozier definitely used his power game and definitely looked like he was going to easily try to end this really quickly. But Jason Devine had that heart of a warrior and did not give up, and actually had an advantage at one point, and it looked like we had a possible upset on our hands. Then the manager of Christopher Dozier decides that he uh, wanted to stick his nose where it didn't belong, and the next thing you know, he interferes on the behalf of Dozier. The referee had enough and tosses him out of the building. Basically, an ejection happens, and well, na 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 na. Hey, hey, goodbye. Don't hit the door on the butt on the way out. I say to that, and when you have 100 and something people doing that, it was such beautiful music. I think we all had a good kick out of that one. As as well, an ejection occurred. It was finally 1-on-1, but then the unstable Messiah got his due, hit him with a great combination of moves, and then the knockout punch. And well, I kind of looked at Megan. I was like, before he hit the punch, I was like, this looks over. She's like, no, it's not over. Once the punch happened, I was like, it's over now. One, two, three. Yeah, I got it right. It was indeed over. And well, let me just say, she kind of gave me this look. She gave me a look. She was not happy. She was ticked. And understandable. But, it is what it is. It did happen. And, well, the big victory for Christopher Dozier. But then the ace Mike Montero showed up and kind of got in the face of Dozier. And, well, maybe a pick on somebody your own size type moment there. We'll wait and see what happens, but I will say this. If the ace Mike Montero is gonna pick a fight with Christopher Dozier, oh, ace, I know you've been undefeated, and I know you're one of the big names in the RWA. But the unstable Messiah is, like I said, he's a wrecking ball. He's gonna destroy whoever stands in his way. And the thing that also is very telling is that when James Spear, that's the manager of Dozier, he said that he was sidetracked, that his ultimate goal is to destroy Chris Pyro, and that there is a roadblock in the way, which was Jason Devine. He got past that roadblock. Now it looks like a newer roadblock has now emerged, and that is the ace Mike Montero. What makes it scary is that with everything that's going on, I really worry for the fact that if this is what's gonna happen, Ace, you've been undefeated since winning the hype title. I'm gonna say this right now, word of warning. Please do not put the hype championship on the line, because I'm gonna be very blunt with you, bro. You might lose the gold. This might be the guy that could end the streak and become the hype champion. It's just me looking out for you. I know you're probably not going to listen to me. I know you're going to say, well, he just took out one of my friends, and I need to defend the honor of Jason Devine, which is very, very understandable. I get it. But I'm just saying, as a fan, we saw what happened last night at Legacy. I hope and pray that doesn't happen to you. That's all I'm saying. Alright. So next up was the gauntlet match. This was the tag team turmoil for the RWA Tag Team Championship. Now here were the rules. It started out with 2 tag teams, and every 90 seconds thereafter, a new tag team entered the ring according to the number they drew. There was 8 tag teams altogether. Now, the only way to be eliminated from the fight was when one of your members gets thrown over the top and both feet must touch the floor. When one member of the team gets eliminated, the entire team is out. They get eliminated, they get sent packing. The last team standing, when all teams have entered, will be declared the winner and the RWA Tag Team Champions. Now, Robert Massey was the commentator and the ring announcer for a few of the fights. So was Lucy Santana, and they both did a great job. But I need to call you out. I need to call you out, Massey, because you said the new RWA Tag Team Championship when you were making the ring announcement, and I looked at um Megan Silva, and I'm like, does that mean he has no faith in the Killer Tees? Does he have no faith that the Killer Tees are gonna walk out of this with the RWA Tag Team Championship? Because he kind of did. He mentioned new tag team champions. Um, yeah. Don't you forget that the Killer Tees are the reigning champions. They're in this fight as well. That this belt was not vacated. So I was like, it sounds like to me like Massey kind of throwed Big T Phoenix and Tom Billington, not Billingsley, and I'll tell you, the hooligan, yeah, he kind of gave me a rash of you know what over that. He spotted me in the crowd. He gave me the love, but he's like, it's Billington, not Billingsley. Okay, okay, hooligan. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. It's my bad. I'll man up, and I made a mistake. I'm sorry for what happened. It's Tom Billington, not Billingsley, and Big Daddy T Phoenix, the reigning and defending RWA Tag Team Champion, the Killer Tees, and they are everything wrong about professional wrestling. But, and that's a big but, they always love and they love to do things and it feels so damn good when they do those bad things. And then the next team that came out was the Heavy Hitters. So they were the first two teams out. They battled it out. Then we had two members of the International Men of Honor. Yeah, so they showed up, and then coincidentally, the other two members of the International Men of Honor, they were number four in the fight. Next team out was, I think they said it was the Gears of War. They were the fifth team out. Then there was two other tag teams. Forgive me, I don't know uh, all eight teams. So the sixth and seventh teams they came out. There was a couple of eliminations that occurred, and then the eighth and final team was the Imbruzis. That's right, next level grappling and entertainment. Ambrosi family, they hit the ring, and the minute they hit the ring, they found themselves out of the ring, over the top, onto the floor, eliminated, and it wasn't just one member. Both men went over the top. So, Cipriano and your brother, see ya, bye bye. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. So they get eliminated. They got sent packing. When it was all said and done, the first two teams that started it were the last two teams that ended it. It was down to the Killer Tees and the Heavy Hitters, and when it was all said and done, the Killer Tees wins it. They successfully defend the RWA Tag Team Championship, and I was very happy to see that. The next thing we know, they were heading back to the locker room, heading back up the ramp to the locker room area. We got a sneak attack, a Pearl Harbor job. The Heavy Hitters basically gave the Killer Teeth a heavy price for winning the tag team titles. They kind of, they were very nice. We thought that they were going to show the respect and the love. Yeah, no love in this one. A beatdown ensues, and I'm really worried for Tom Billington because of the fact there was a noticeable limp. He was limping pretty badly on his leg. He was gingerly walking on, I believe it was his right leg. I hope I'm correct about that. He'll probably let me know on my Facebook if I was right or wrong, but there was a noticeable limp. Um, I hope everything's okay with him. You know, maybe he got liquored up. You know, probably to numb the pain, to say the very least. But we'll wait and see what happens. But it was definitely a great match. Definitely one of the true fights of the true top fights of the night. I will agree with that. It was about 3.5 stars was my rating for that. And we will move on to the next fight of the night, which was um, and it actually was, let's get up here, as it was another tag team attraction. It was the New Hoods as they went up against the Mac Attack. The New Hoods did win the match. They did a great combination. This was a good, solid fight. Again, another cool down fight. About 2 stars was my rating for this. But there was something that really irked me about this fight, and it wasn't about the match itself. It was the post fight that really set me off and really got me thinking that I think the RWA management might have a problem on their hands. All right, so let me set it up for you fans, and then we'll get right into it. At that moment, um, you know, it was Davey Cash celebrating, going around, and a fan came up, must have said something to Davey Cash, and the next thing we know, Davey Cash super kicks this fan in the face and drops him from his chair. Okay, here's the problem I see. Davey Cash assaulted a fan. Now, we all know what happens, that when something like this happens, two things can happen. A lawsuit could be thrown from from this fan to the RWA, and I think the RWA has to do some swift, and they have to punish Stevie Cash. There's no doubt about it. His actions were uncalled for. It was despicable. It was low down, pointless, unnecessary, unacceptable, mediocre, borderline reprehensible what he did, and downright bullcrap, in my opinion, and he deserves to be punished by the RWA. And to me, he either loses his purse, loses the paycheck he got for that fight that night, or you need to suspend him. He needs to be suspended for his actions from RWA Legacy number 7. And not only that, he almost insinuated a riot in East Providence, Rhode Island. A fan threw something at the arena. Thank God it didn't hit the ring or hit him. We could have had a major problem on our hands in that building. Um, you know, it's one thing to win the fight. Yeah, you can say whatever you want to say to the fans and whatnot. You got your First Amendment right. The minute you touch an RWA fan, the line's been crossed. And as a wrestling fan, we've seen moments like this where, yes, the fans might have insinuated or started something, and whatever the case may be. But what happened here was the guy was sitting down. He didn't even see it coming. That kick to the face came out of nowhere and he ate it. And that's beyond disrespectful, in my opinion. And I hope the management of RWA comes down hard on Davey Cash. I hope so. That's my opinion. So that's what I feel. All right. So the next fight, which was, and this was a very good match, another decent match, and it was, the Devil's Reject Brandon Webb, he went one-on-one with the Brick David Baker, and I will say this was a good match. You know, this was definitely one of those decent fights. Definitely, I love the body of work from both men. They did a very good job. Brandon Webb did get the victory, and I will say this, Devil, Devil Reject, you got a new fan on your side. Her name is Megan Silva. She loved everything about it. She loved the body of work. She loved the entrance, the music. You've won her over uh, on Saturday night, and you won me over. I was definitely impressed with your body of work. Please come back anytime to East Providence, Rhode Island. I would love to see you again in the ring. You definitely won us for the evening, and it was definitely a very good match. And I would even say it was a quality match uh, to go by. And I'll say this, whatever the case may be, good luck, my friend. You were definitely one of the few bright spots in the card last night, to say the very least. All right, now we move to the main event of the evening, which was indeed for the RWA World title. The Triple Crown Championship was on the line as the reigning and defending champion, the Mind Eraser, Mike Grasa, I should say, is not Garza, it's Grasa, as he put the title on the line against the Heat, Chris Pyro, the winner of the bout, and still the RWA Triple Crown champion, the Mind Eraser Mike Grasa. He wins the title. 5-star classic. What a way to close the show. A main event that was without a doubt a thrilling battle. Back and forth these men went. And I will say this was without a doubt one of the best championship fights I've ever seen in professional wrestling. Yes, this is better than anything WWE put it out, anything that TNA has put out. This was a 5-star classic and above. You know what? I'll tell you one thing. The one of my best highlights was when basically Grasa put Pyro in the Imperial Trio. Whoa! And the next thing we know, he goes on the other side of the corner and he yells out, if he dies, he dies. And it was a coast to coast drop kick from one side of the ring to the other side of the ring and jacks up Pyro. Holy cow. And then we saw a tombstone pile driver onto the ring apron, the 450 from Pyro, and then finally Grasa does a spike tombstone pile driver in the center of the ring for the 1, 2, 3. The fans went nuts. We even had little kids slamming their hands on the ring apron because they were jacked up. It was a main event to be thrilled. The RWA delivered a main event that fans will be talking about for years to come. A 5-star classic. Congratulations, Pyro. Congratulations to Mike Grasa, especially to Grasa, for successfully defending the title. But I will say this, and this was actually even telling. He broke his hand 2 weeks ago. He got himself into a fight. Somebody decided that he wanted to be Mas Macho, and well, Grasa put him in his place. And well, I'll definitely say it was a great match. I don't know what's gonna happen. Does that mean surgery for Grasa? I mean, what's gonna happen with the Triple Crown Championship? I hope not. He's a great champion, and like I said, Another guy who was also a great champion is Chris Pyro. And I kind of got worried. I went down to ringside. Pyro had the belt, and Mike Santana was right next to me, and he was telling Chris, please do not do this. Go out like a true champion. He went out like a true champion. He presented the belt. They raised each other's hand, and it was an amazing event. A sellout crowd from East Providence, Rhode Island, got to see a five-star classic, two five-star classic fights in one night, and to me, a thrilling event. 8 out of 10 is my official rating for this event, and the RWA solidifies themselves as one of the best rising companies in professional wrestling today. And I will say this, I was riveted, I was thrilled. RWA, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for coming back to my hometown of East Providence, Rhode Island, and I cannot wait to see you guys come back down in the very near future. Please do come back. We sold out, you guys sold out the recreational center. The sky's the limit, guys. You can, the sky is the limit. Alright guys, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching the RWA recap video. I am Michael Fletcher. A programming reminder, tomorrow night we're going to have the Wrestling Forum exclusively on YouTube.com. And then the four guys are going to be reunited. Myself, Anthony Florio, Derek Ferreira, and Michael Bullock. We're all going to be in the house, and we're all going to recap WWE Monday Night Raw. Plus, we might get into some news and views. We don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. But until then, good night from East Providence, Rhode Island. You know the routine, everybody. Hug the hand pounds. I'm out. Good night. So long. We'll see you tomorrow for the Wrestling Forum. You've been watching this special recap video exclusively on YouTube.com on Braves95. Leave a comment, like this video, and also, tell me if you liked it or not liked it on my Twitter, Facebook, and of course on right here on Google Plus as well. So until then, have a good night, everybody. So long for now. Bye bye.